This is Chapter 6, and we're going to be learning to add 3-digit numbers. In order to do this, we're going to make 100 out of numbers that are already there to help us add. Now, you guys have seen this before, so let's think carefully and go slowly as we go through this. I'm going to start with a simple example of 199 plus 43. Okay, we want to look at 199 and we want to say, oh my goodness, this is really close to 200. How many do I need to go from 199 to 200? Well, if you're counting, let's back up a little. 195, 196, 197, 198, 199, which is where we are. 199 plus one more is 200. Okay, if that's the case, then let me take 1 out of this and add it to this, okay? And then it's going to be easier to add, because you know when we've got zeros, it's easier to add. Oh, how are we going to have zeros? Well, let's back up here and let me show you. We've got this 43. Ooh. And what we're going to do with the 43 is we're going to take one away, okay? And taking one of those away, we'll put it here. And that's going to leave us with what? How many over there? 42, right? Okay? So if we had 1 plus 42, you know that that equals 43. So we just broke this number down. Okay, does that make sense? Now, let's take that 1 and add it to the 199. Plus 1, right? So we're going to add that 1 to 199. Okay? And use our big, fat little arrows again in pink this time. And look what happens. When we add 199 plus 1, we get 200. Now we still have to use what's left over. We can't forget about this guy. That's left over. So we are going to make sure that we add that 42 that's left over, because we still want to add the whole entire number. It's just that we've rearranged them. We took 43 and we broke it down into 1 plus 42. Then we added that 1 to the 199 to get 200. But remember, we still have to use what's left over here. So watch. Now I'm going to add 42. What does that equal? Well, 200 plus 42 is really easy. Why is it really easy? That's a terrible looking plus sign. Let's try that again. Why is that really easy to add? Think about it. Because we have zeros. Look at our zeros. Here's your 0 and here's a 0. And when we're adding, there's no regrouping there. We just bring the numbers down. 0 plus 2 is 2. And 0 plus 4 is 4. And 2 plus nothing is 2. So the answer to this is 242. We just did that by breaking the numbers down. It's your turn to practice this in your workbook pages. You're going to start on page 352 in your workbook, okay? And read everything that's in the box first, because those are your directions and those are your example. Plus it gives you a helpful hint in a little cloud on the side. After you read that example, then you're going to go on and do the problems on page 352. There's only 2 of them, and they're just the way I showed you in the example just a second ago. So number 1 is asking you to add 77 plus 298. Okay, and then it has a line, a plus, a line, a plus, and 298. And then it it does these funny arrows again. Well, here's why. This is what you're supposed to do, just to remind you one more time, okay? You're going to be looking at the numbers and you're going to be saying, how can I make this up to into the hundreds so that I have a 0 here and a 0 here? Well, if I change 98 and I keep counting, I think I can get to 300. Let's see, how many does it take to get to 300? 298, 299, 300. Yeah, that was 2 more. So I can take 2 off of my 77, right? So let's look at that. If I take 2 off of 77, it goes 77 is how we start. We take 1 off and we get 76. We take another one off, we get 75. So we're going to have 75 there. And what we took was we took 2 numbers, right? We took 2 numbers and we're going to add them there. It's still 77. Do you see that? 75 plus 2 is still 77. We just split the number. Why did we split the number? So that we could do this. So that we could change 298 to 300. Because, right, if we keep counting up from 298, what happens? Let's see. 99, and it's going to become another 100. So it becomes 300. And that's what we want. Isn't that what we want? Doesn't that make adding easier? Yes, it does. So we're going to put 300 here. But then remember, we still have to add the 75 that was left over from the number up here that we decomposed or took apart. So now we can add 75 plus 300. I'm not going to give you the answer. You have to put that in your workbook on page 352. When you're finished, you also have to do page 353 and 354. And if you are a number ninja, please bring me the homework page. And the homework page is going to be when you finish these, so it's going to be page 355. All right, remember to ask your partners for help if you need it.